a left-wing perspective now. We do like to do that on GB News, even though people think, oh, you're right-wing. We have left-wing voices on every show. And this morning, my left-wing voice is going to be former Labour MP and former Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, Shaun Woodward. Shaun, thank you for joining me this morning. Lovely to see you. Can we talk about Angela Rayner? Do you mind? I just feel we must, because it's all over the Sunday papers. There's calls for her to resign. The police are now investigating this two-home situation. She has said, I'll stand down if I'm found criminally liable. Well, she might not be found criminally liable, but she might just be found to have lied. And that's bad in public life, isn't it, Shaun?
Oh, of course it's bad. But again, let's not prejudge this. I mean, the first issue is let the Greater Manchester Police do their work now. If there's wrongdoing, she's unequivocal, she will stand down. The other issue you rightly raised, Camilla, is one of perception. And there is an issue very clearly around transparency here. I think it's a matter of regret. It has to be that Angela probably didn't put the documents that she has said would exonerate her position out there. It does slightly mystify me that it's taken quite so long for the Greater Manchester Police to get to this position either. But nonetheless, they are now doing it. So I think the unfortunate thing is this has dragged on now for weeks and weeks. And I think Angela's particular problem here is that she has been somebody who's argued very strongly for standards in public life. Last year, she talked about the importance of establishing an integrity and ethics commissioner if Labour win the next general election. It's very difficult, if you are arguing for that, to not, as it were, be prepared in advance of that, to put into the public domain information which you say you have, but you won't. So I think I've got huge sympathy for her. Anybody who lived through the expenses scandals that I did in Gordon Brown's government knows how really awful this can be, and really pretty nice people can end up being tarred in a very unfair way. But that's the nature of politics. You guys ask the questions. We do have to give the answers. And some people do feel that it's a smear campaign against her and it's about working class women. I think some of that is true, I'm afraid. I think, the media, and you know this, Camilla, once they get on the bandwagon here, they can all get very excited. But the truth is, underneath it all, there is an issue that needs an answer here. And the sooner we get the answer, the better. And if the Greater Manchester Police have to provide it, so be it. But it's a matter of regret to me that we didn't provide it earlier.
Although it sounds to me, we had John McTiernan on the show last week, and he was very much in the camp of this is a stitch-up, it's a right-wing media's conspiracy, there's nothing to see here. You've rightly pointed out that Rayner is someone who has repeatedly called for the resignations of her political opponents. Equally, she's called for people to sort of publish tax returns and all the rest of it. And therefore, she has put herself in a kind of special position. I suppose the question is, Shaun, are you saying that for the benefit of the Labour Party, even though she serves an important purpose, she's sort of the poster girl for the left, alongside Keir Starmer, that she's becoming a bit of a drag anchor, and if she's more of a hindrance than a help, then she must go, regardless of what the police conclude?
No, I don't think people should be cut loose because there's a media festival going on. I think that would be ludicrous, and that shouldn't happen. On the other hand, I think as somebody who, as it were, says, we're going to have these standards in public life. She's talking about standards, and the standards are what matters here. I think it would be sensible if the person who might be Deputy Prime Minister of our country just clears this up for herself. And let me just add one more thing, Camilla. Tony Blair had John Prescott. I'm in the centre of politics. I wouldn't really regard myself as on the left, but I'm certainly in the centre. I think Angela has a very important role to play in a future Labour government, but like John Prescott, she's got to be prepared to be subjected to this. It's horrid when the media gets going on you, but I'm afraid, as I know and you know, that's the way it is. And by the way, you said earlier in the programme, once a journalist, always a journalist. I was a journalist for 10 years as Esther Ranson's editor of That's Life. And the journalists here are doing their job. I don't think really this is about attacking a working class woman. This is attacking somebody who might be the Deputy Prime Minister and who believes that standards in public life matter. Angela, I'm sure you are innocent. Clear it up.
Clear it up. Thank you very much indeed for your time this morning, Shaun Woodward.